The 967th edition of the MMA Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with promo code MMA SGPN. Hey guys, what's up? It's Gumby here, hitting you with a quick pre-show editor's note. Look, here at SGPN, we pride ourselves on having really good audio, really clean video. The fact of the matter is my internet just didn't let me do it this time. When we were recording this, I didn't realize how bad some of the sections of it were. I tried to chop it up, make it sound a little bit nicer for you guys, but the fact of the matter is it's not our usual quality, and I wanted to take a second to apologize for that. I promise I'm going to get the internet fixed, and we will be back to regular quality come Wednesday. Thank you again for your patience with me on this one.
Howdy ho, DeGenerinos. Welcome to episode 967 of the MMA Gambling Podcast, the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, dedicated to our boy, the MMA Upside. He gets a lot of dedications, but he deserves it. He commented on our Samurai Fight House 25 video last episode that he was watching it 1 hour after we posted it, 7:45 a.m. on Thanksgiving. So that is a true blue fan, and we expect that type of commitment out of all of you. If you're not watching this early morning on holidays, then we expect more out of you, okay? I'm sure we'll have a Christmas episode. I expect you to be watching it on Christmas because we have episodes every day. Do we not? It feels that way. I'm Michelangelo Colangelo, Jeff Fox. With me, Diani Gumby Reardon. We actually haven't had many episodes recently because it was a dead week in MMA, but things are getting cranked back up this coming week. And the cranking starts, that doesn't sound that great, but the cranking starts on Friday because we have PFL MENA 4. PFL MENA is actually pretty good, and we enjoy covering it, and you enjoy watching it. And I think Gumby's going to enjoy giving us winners, right?
Yeah, PFL MENA, kind of a fun card. It's got the 4, finals at the top, which is nice. And it's got the preview of somebody who they've just been feeding to amateurs for seemingly a million events. Feels like she's been fighting amateurs 100 times, but I'm glad they're finally letting her whatever might be going on there. So that's like all fun, but like the card's just like a little less deep otherwise. Like I saw there was only like 2 or 3 other fights on there. One of them is another amateur fight. Maybe they're replacing her in the amateur ranks a little while, but like, there's notable names at the top of this. There's UFC veterans in there. There's like a lot of good talent here in PFL MENA, and we've seen talent go on to more big fights too. Obviously Ali Taleb is doing really nice things with PFL, and so this is they've promised us feeder leagues, and they've done a pretty good job with them. Also, I'm gonna take a stab at PFL real quick because you knew I wasn't just gonna be complimentary. Did they kill PF? Did they kill PFL Europe? Is it gone?
Yeah. I was going to bring that up with you. They've announced every other, like MENA, they announced that's staying around, right? They announced.
So they had 24 shows for the new year, and it said would be the PFL proper, and then 8 divvied up equally between PFL MENA and PFL Africa. They just like casually left out that like maybe Europe wouldn't be included in like the PFL. They've got an event in Madrid, and I'm like, would be a PFL Europe event, but it seems like PFL Europe may have gone the wayside, which these things happen when promotions promise us they're going to expand.
Yes, these things definitely happen in MMA. There's it's so they're doing less events than last year than this current year.
I don't know. Is 16 less? Is 16
I'm not
less?
sure. Maybe not.
It feels about right.
You don't usually see promotions. It's usually the opposite. They want content. So they just keep piling on, which kind of brings us into like the UFC matchmaking. Matchmaking may not make sense, but the trains have to leave the station on time, as some other podcast says about UFC and MMA. So you would expect PFL not to be taken away and adding instead, but who's to say? So whenever they do run events, we will cover it regardless of the area. Seems strange they have Africa and Northern Africa, the only 2 regional stuff they have left, but hey, maybe they're trying to corner the market there. So we should probably dive into PFL MENA after I remind you, you should dive into our merch site, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. You can gear up for the holidays at our merch store because we have a giveaway, not a giveaway either, Gumby, a sale. How about we call it a sale? The perfect gift for the degen in your life. Promo code HOLIDAY, HOLIDAY, for 25% off everything in the store, even all the wonderful MMA gambling podcast merch. So sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. It's good sign that I'm butchering ad reads right off the bat. PFL MENA 4 2025 finals, which is kind of a basic name for a PFL event. Usually we have lots more after the colon there, but Khobar, Saudi Arabia, this coming Friday, 10:30 a.m. start time. So a Degen special Friday morning MMA for us in the Eastern time zone. Excuse me. Dhahran Expo in Khobar, Saudi Arabia. As Gumby said, a kind of a shallower fight card than normal. We only have 9 fights listed right now. Maybe they're going to add some more. Who's to say? But we have lots of tournament championships. We have 4 tournament titles, and then we have a fighter we're going to talk about right now that we have already covered before in her Emmy fights, and now they're giving her big step into the pros. That would be Hattan Alsaif. She is from Saudi Arabia, fighting in front of the home crowd. She is a women's atomweight. She's fighting Haidy Ahmed. She is from Egypt, I believe. Yes, Egypt. 3 5-minute rounds, 105. Ahmed, it's 2-1 with 1 knockout. She's been knocked out herself once. Win over her last 3. She's not fought since July 2023. So quite a long time on the shelf. She's not lost a fight since August 2022, which happens if you don't fight. Used to fight at 115, 2 inches taller than Alsaif. Alsaif, as I said, this is her debut, but 4-0 as an amateur, all of them ending via knockout. Most of them, maybe all of them, under the PFL banner. That's all I really have for her. Gumby will fill in more blanks, I'm sure.
Yeah, so Alsaif, obvious pick here, and in her pro debut. I'm going to imagine. I think I wrote down, what did I write down? -12. And like that might be low. Like it might get to 2,000 by the time we get to fight time. But like she's the clear cut pick here. And the reason is like if you watched any of her amateur fights, like really she does, like, for an atomweight, she does an extreme amount of damage to her opponents. And now some of that is, yeah, she's fighting amateurs and has been fighting amateurs for some time. But, you know, like it's clear she's got a high level of kickboxing. So Haidy Ahmed, you know, I had to get eyes on her because I had heard of who she was before. Knew, you know, in order to do my due diligence here, I had to make sure she wasn't going to be like a prospecty loss for. When I watched her, you know, first of all, the only I could get on her was the Tapology record ineligible fight that she has, which is already not a very good sign, right? So I watched that fight. She's definitely fighting yoga clothes that they found. You know, she's not like wearing MMA gear. Yeah, well, she's not wearing MMA gear at all. Like, I mean, you know, you're expecting like shorts over the top of tights, or, you know, she's like, sure, I'll fight in a cage instead. And this Haidy Ahmed gets cracked by her at the first 30 seconds. This one shouldn't be close.
All right, feeding her or feeding a newcomer to her, or not a newcomer, right? Well, I guess 3 fights is pretty much a newcomer, but you really, you know, she's making her pro debut. You really shouldn't be giving her massive hills to climb at this point, especially if you have plans for her. Okay, nothing but tournament championships from here on out. We're starting with, it's all men's. Men's bantamweight, Nawras Abzakh versus Islam and Youssef. Abzakh is from Jordan. I want to say Jordan for some reason. That's Charles Jordan. No, Jordan. He's fighting the Egyptian Youssef. As you probably noticed last fight breakdown, no odds yet, but PFL are easy odds to get, so they will be dropping before the event starts. Mok Shah is a nickname for Youssef. 7-2, 2 knockouts, 3 submissions. He's been knocked out once. 2-0 in PFL. He's won 6 straight fights. He's not lost since August 2021. He has multiple regional championships on his
mantle.
Correct. Get our merch. Remember the merch store and the sale. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. 25% off if you check out with Holiday as your code. He used to fight up at 145, 7 years younger than Abzakh. We got our first honey badger of the day, Gumby. I guess the only one. The honey badger, Abzakh. Honey badgers are all over the world, apparently. He's 14-6 with 1 no contest, 2 knockouts, 7 submissions. He's been knocked out 3 times. He's 2-1 in PFL. He's won 2 straight and 3 of 5. He's the former UAE Warriors champion, also a regional champ. Used to fight at 125, 2014 Pro MMA debut. An inch taller than Youssef, 3-inch reach advantage over him.
So I guess is in the low 200s, maybe like -210, plus 180 return on Youssef. And I'm going to take my first swing on a dog here. And this is a card, you know, I'm going to tip my hand a little bit where I like a lot of underdogs. But this one, you know, I know the fans are in on Abzakh, and maybe Youssef hasn't looked as clean. Look at Abzakh and Youssef side to side on film. it's like very clear that Abzakh is like kind of slow for being a bantamweight. Like on his own, maybe he doesn't look slow, or maybe against some of his past opponents, he doesn't look slow, but like his strikes are like just like a touch slower than you would come to expect. And he's a guy who likes to dial up a lot, and that's kind of his main offense. And when he does dial up pressure, he kind of leaves his chin out there too. So when you're both like slow and like not moving your head enough, it like really sets you a bad way. In addition, he did lose to Alib in the earlier iteration of PFL MENA. Taleb kind of just like make him not able to come forward, right? Like if he's the guy who likes to come forward, make him go backwards. And he looks like a shot of water and is even more hittable then. Now, granted, he's more hittable because Ali Taleb is the one throwing the strikes, but like that's a bulldog guy who like to get real gritty and likes to work in the clinch and likes to just make it a nasty fight. And like, I think, first of all, that's really conducive to fighting a guy who doesn't like to work backwards, right? First of all, there's that. And then second of all, on top of that, Youssef's got some really nice takedowns. Now, granted, I think he wastes a little bit too much energy with like big slams and such like that. But at the end of the day, like, as long as he's got Abzakh on his back foot, Youssef, my guess, high one.
All right. A dog. It took him 2 fights, but he got us a dog here. All right. Before we get some more dogs, let's tell you about Novig. We're brought to you by Novig. It's Novig, all one word. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you're getting the best prices because they got reduced juice on bets. Novig is available in 35 plus states. Download the Novig app and get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig, promo code SGPN. And Underdog. Underdog is your home for pick'em entries where you can win up to 5,000 times your entry. Gumby Prey has a winning play for you right now.
Playing on Sunday. We got the Boston Celtics at Cleveland. He's got to take over, so give me the higher points.
All right. Underdog's got a brand new offer for new customers. Play just $5 to get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with our code, only our code, MMA SGPN. All right. Let's move up the old fight card here, ladies and gentlemen. Tournament championship featherweights now. Yanis Ghemmouri. You may have heard of him. We have discussed him before in many different promotions. He is from France. He's fighting Islam Reda. He is from Egypt. A lot of Egyptians on this card. 5-5. Sorry, I said the other fight was going to be 3 5-minute rounds. There are 5 5-minute rounds for the tournament championships here. Let's break it down. 145. Reda, the Egyptian zombie. Good nickname. 14-1. 1 knockout, 8 submissions. He's never been finished. That makes him durable. 4-0 in PFL. He's won 7 straight. He's not lost since December 2018. That's a nice little run. Has fought at 155 and 170, 2013 pro MMA debut. He's 0-1 as pro grappler. He's got 5-inch reach advantage over Ghemmouri. The Desert Warrior. So the Desert Warrior versus the Egyptian Zombie. I did the Desert Warrior nickname joke before, did I not?
I don't know if you did or not, but it's good.
Well, I am now. I'm the Desert Warrior. This is a good time of year for that joke as well. Jeff, that's going to be my new name, Gummy, the Desert Warrior. Anyhow, he is a Desert Warrior. Desert Warrior versus the Egyptian Zombie. That is a good matchup. Sounds like a comic book title. All right, Ghemmouri, 13-3. 3 knockouts, 4 submissions. He's been knocked out twice, submitted once. Not durable. 1-0 in PFL. He's won 1 of 3, 10 of 12. That sounds better. 1 his last bout. He went 0-2 in the UFC. Regional champion. Used to fight at 135. 2014 pro MMA debut. 2 years younger than Reda, 2 inches taller.
The thing about Ghemmouri is just like his... I'm trying to think of the best words to talk about his grappling because it's not bad. Like he'll do the right things. It's like he does the right things second. It'll be like kind of at the wrong angle, or he'll stick his hand in instead of his elbow in, or, and it's the same thing on the ground too. Like when he goes to pass, it's like he creates way too much space. With Reda, mistakes in grappling. Like if you watch anybody else make a mistake against him, sticking their head in the wrong place, sticking their arm in the wrong place, like he takes advantage of it and then like uses it to sweep, or uses it to take your back, or uses it to get into an advantageous position. So like, on the feet, like I said, I think they're pretty even. I think we're going to see both of them swarming each other from time to time and stuff like that. I don't know who will finish it. And that's, for me, it's Islam Reda. He's going to wind up in the advantageous positions because when Ghemmouri slips up, like I know he will, or doesn't put his hand in the right place the first time, or, Reda is going to take advantage of it, and Reda will advance the position and wind up in all the better positions for the judges. So I'm going to go Islam Reda. Like I said, I think the UE background of Ghemmouri might pull that down a little bit, but I'm guessing like the negative 130s or 40s for Reda.
All right, lock it in. We're to our co-main event already. It is for a tournament championship. Imagine that. This one is for lightweights. Salah, Eddine, Hamli. He is from Morocco. Mohammad, Fahmi. He is from Iraq. So a couple of different countries on this card here. 5-minute rounds, 155. Fahmi, sole keeper, 4-0 with 3 submissions, 2-0 in PFL, 2 straight wins via submission. Youssef at 170, 1-0 in 1 championship, the biggest promotion in the world, question mark. Hamli, Super Salah, 10-0. Someone's losing their 0 here. You would assume 2 knockouts, 5 submissions. He went 2-0 in PFL, 2 straight wins via submission, just like Fahmi. He's fed at 170, just like Fahmi. 3 years younger, 5 inches taller, an inch reach advantage.
Yeah, so I think Hamli is going to be the big favorite. Salah Hamli is got the much longer record, doesn't on his record, which tends to scare the books away a little bit and definitely scares the bettors away. I'm going to say in like the low 3s for him, like maybe a negative 310, 315, like a plus 275 return on. Part of the reason I like Fahmi is he's a guy who holds position really well. He's a guy who, when he gets you down, is smart. He's technical. He's safe. He keeps that position really well. And then when you watch, but like you'll notice his opponents over and over and over again. That worries me against another really good wrestler in Fahmi. And the other thing that I think is like a huge red flag here for Hamli is just like, you can watch like 10 of his fights and still not know how his striking looks. I watched his last fight, and I think he threw 3 standing strikes in the whole fight, and it was a 15-minute decision. And I'm like, I go back and be like, well, can he? Like, does he know how? In older fights, and like he'll throw some kicks out there. He's clearly not comfortable with his hands, and so like guys who are both pretty good wrestlers, it stands to reason that fight could take place largely on the feet, right? Like that. How many times have we seen that before? It's happened dozens of times. We got one guy in Fahmi. You can say he's like a phenomenal boxer, but he's a tough boxer. As I mentioned before, his wrestling's good. He had a single leg on Mohammad Zaifi in their fight, drove forward, picked up the upset win in that fight. Like he took him down. So like I know Fahmi has the ability to wrestle. So if he cancels it out, those feints and that actual like somewhat decent boxing, I think it's going to trump the guy who like won't throw strikes at all or hasn't thrown strikes at all. And like the timing is clearly going to be off for Hamli. So give me Fahmi here. I'm guessing we're going to get him at a pretty good dog price.
All right. Lock it in or get to our main event in one moment after I tell you about our friends at Rhythm. Once again, RITHMM. Rhythm is crushing it in college football, NFL, and now it just added the NBA. Rhythm is also giving away weekly cash prizes just for tracking your bets in the app. Track 5 bets of the same type from any model you build, and you can win $1,000. Gumby, do you have a Rhythm play for people?
Sure. Sunday Night Football. Jackson Dart back behind center for the Giants. Let's take them over the Pats. Pats just lost an offensive lineman. Drake May already takes a bunch of hits. I think they're the Giants. Heck, I'd take them with the points. And look, I'd take them on the money line. Give me the Giants.
And he hates the Giants, so he must really.
I hate the Giants, and I'm still saying this.
Yep. All right. See what Rhythm thinks of the Giants. You can sign up with our promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app. That way you get 25% off your first month. So download Rhythm, RITHMM, and promo code SGPN25. Our main event is for the welterweight championship. Mohammad Alaqraa. He is from Kuwait. He is fighting Badreddine Diani. He is from Morocco. 5-minute rounds, 170. Diani, Dream Chaser, 10-3. 2 knockouts, 2 submissions. He's been knocked out twice. 3-0 in PFL. He's won 4 straight and 6 of 7. He's a 2-time UAE Warriors champion. And he's 4 inches taller than Alaqraa. Alaqraa is 9-1, 3 knockouts, 1 submission. He's been knocked out once. 4-1 in PFL. He's won 2 straight. TKO win in his last bout. 6 years younger than Diani.
So look, I'm going to take Alaqraa in this fight, but I don't feel good about it. The main reason I don't feel good like people seem to like Alaqraa a lot more than Diani. If you go back and watch Alaqraa's last loss, like the dude has the same single leg entries all the time. And if you watch the way that he gets hit on those single leg entries, it doesn't deter him from continuing to shoot that way. And then he got knocked out shooting that same single leg entry, so like certain things that Diani does well, but like ultimately I think he's a much worse wrestler. And I think he's going to be worried about that in this fight. He's got like a nice little back take and some good jiu-jitsu, but I do think he's going to be the guy on the bottom because Alaqraa is just like, when he does get on those singles, he's a really good wrestler and he's got good top control and all that kind of stuff. But like, Diani's more of a little bit of a flashy style guy. And then the other is this being a 5-round fight. Alaqraa is like, he's got a gas tank on him and he pushes the pace and his wrestling style is exhausting. And I've seen Diani fade even in like 3-round fights to the point where, man, even if he has those moments early where he popped Alaqraa with a couple of jabs for a bad single leg attempt, like just fighting off the takedown attempts for the first 2 rounds, I think is going to leave him in a place where he's like not even, now we're not even talking about championship rounds yet. So like I originally had circled Diani and been like, oh, this could be a nice underdog hit because like he is skilled enough to beat him in a lot of different places, but I just don't know that the gas tank will be there. And I don't know that the wrestling will be there. So I'm going to take Alaqraa, but I will tell you, just maybe leave him out of parlays if he does wind up in like the first, like it's just not worth it.
Okay. Locker in. Let's recap. He's got Alaqraa. He's got Fahmi. He has got Reda. He has got Youssef. He has got Alsaif, which means we all have those as well. All right, lightning round. Zap, bang, boom, pow. Do you like anything else on the card?
Did I like anything? No, but
you're gonna give us another play.
I picked a couple of things. I took the Ahmed El-Sisi. He's a guy we've talked about on here too. He fought Mohammad Saifi and hung in there. I wouldn't say he looked good in there, but he hung in there really well. He fought Mohammad Saifi at MENA 1. And like, that's a tough out. Like that guy's a bulldog and moves forward at a good clip. And Sissy didn't look bad. I think they're kind of giving them one to get right back on track. And then we got an 0-0 versus an 0-0 fight here. But I went and I watched some film on Walid Ghemmouri. Is how you say it? I have no idea. Ghemmouri. Look, 0-0, but like kind of looks like he's already been a pro. I watched some of his AMI fights. He looked really good in some of those AMI fights. He looks like he's already a pro in terms of like having a well-rounded game and being able to put stuff together. And so like I saw a little bit of his opponent, didn't think the same thing. So like value on an 0-0 guy. The books don't know what they're doing. So that's Ahmed Sisi and Walid Ghemmouri.
Gummy knows what he's doing, that's for sure. So hopefully the books don't know what they're doing. All right, you're set for PFL MENA. We'll be back tomorrow. We got more regional events coming up this week. In the meantime, we'll be in the Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. Where else are we? We're on YouTube, MMA Gambling Podcast. We are on Twitter, SGPN MMA. He's at Gummy Vreeland. I'm at Jeff Foxwriter, at Jeff Foxwriter on Instagram. MoneyMMA.substack.com is my Substack. I'll have my UFC Pick'em contest up again this coming week. Gummy's got a Top Turtle podcast. He has interesting MMA people on it. Who are the interesting people this week?
We're talking to Myron Santos, tough winner, who's getting ready for a fight this upcoming weekend. And a little bit after that, we're talking to AJ Fry, who might not be a name you know, but he is making his UFC debut in the last card of the year.
So check out Top Turtle, of course, sportsgamblingpodcast.com, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/store. Remember your code holiday at checkout, 25% off, and sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon for some bonus content from the bosses and the rest of the crew. We'll be back tomorrow. The Canadian Zombie, Jeff Fox, Honey Badger, Gummy Vreeland. Adios.